On December 14, 2012, Adam Lanza, using his mother's Bushmaster XM15 E2S rifle, broke into Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut, and killed 6 adults and 20 children. This event, and a string of others of the same nature, brought the debate about the Second Amendment back to life. It prompted calls for stricter regulations on guns from Americans on all sides of the political spectrum. As a result of the momentum the event gave to the pro-gun control movement, pro-gun West Virginia Democrat Senator Joe Manchin and Republican Senator Pat Toomey joined forces to pass a bill in which they attempted to tighten existing regulation by closing loopholes. Known as the Manchin-Toomey bill, it brought fairly minimal changes and was designed to appeal to gun owners by taking their concerns into consideration. The barrier the bill faced was that it meant serious opposition from the National Rifle Association, the interest group that defends gun owner rights and fights gun regulation. When all was said and done, the Manchin-Toomey bill was met with defeat in the Senate. Thus, the NRA was successful at blocking regulation. The question arises, how and why was the NRA successful in ensuring that no major gun control policy reform was enacted in 2013, even after several tragedies such as Sandy Hook had a sizable majority of Americans demanding reform? To begin to answer this question, it requires a close look at why Joe Manchin failed in his efforts to pass his bill, since it provides a case study of how the NRA operates and why it is so influential in government. To begin, we have to look at the actions the NRA took to block the Manchin-Toomey bill. The first thing they did was to widen their member base. Thus, they reacted by looking to gain more power in the form of active members. They did this by, in the words of David Keene, the ex-president of the NRA, making it as easy as they could for people to join. The group placed discounts on everything from annual to lifetime memberships during the 6 months immediately after Newtown, adding more than 1 million members to their member base. This meant not only more money which could be used for both in and out of lobbying, but also more leverage among the constituency, which at the end of the day is what is needed to truly influence congressmen to take action by applying pressure. Once this was done, they mobilized and intimidated their allies within the Senate to back away from the bill. On April 15, 2013, the NRA sent out an email to all its allies in the Senate announcing that the organization would vehemently oppose the Manchin-Toomey bill. It also claimed that it would score the vote on the bill and take it into deep consideration into its election year grading system. Furthermore, they started intense lobbying within the halls of Congress to get senators on their side. Their message to senators in the email and inner lobbying was clear. A support to gun control could cost you your job, since they would use the full power of their large member base to turn out votes and contributions in favor of your opposition, both in your party and opposing one. This intimidated many senators who were thinking about supporting the bill, especially senators from conservative states who represented constituencies that took the NRA grading system into consideration when it came time to vote. Several important senators who were undecided before the email turned against the bill when they learned that the NRA would be scoring the vote. These included Democratic Senator from Montana, Max Baucus, Democratic Senator from Arkansas, Mark Pryor, and Republican Senator from Ohio, Rob Portman. After this, it mobilized its 3.5 million members to actively pressure their senators to vote against the bill. Apart from exerting its influence within Congress, the NRA also mobilized its immense member base to express their disapproval of the bill in order to pressure senators to vote against it. They sent out mass emails asking their members to personally call their senators in an effort to intimidate them into voting against the Manchin-Toomey bill. In fact, the NRA enlisted the aid of a paid phone calling organization to mobilize its members by forwarding willing participants directly to their senators' phones. In Toomey's office, the calls ran 9-1 against the bill. In Manchin's office, the ratio was 200-1 in opposition. What the senators heard was the cry of a sizable constituency who had every intention of echoing its wrath in the ballot box. Once again, this intimidated many senators who saw vote for gun control as an action which would bring many negative consequences. Yet, it is not enough to understand what the NRA did. We also have to look at why their actions were so effective in comparison to those of other interest groups who were advocating in favor of gun control. The main reason this worked was because the political activism among gun owners is higher than in comparison to non-gun owners. The factor which truly makes the NRA incredibly powerful is the fact that gun owners tend to be more politically active than those who run against guns, making their voice much louder in the eyes of congressmen. In the months following Newtown, the Pew Research Center conducted polls in order to study political activism among supporters of gun ownership and supporters of gun control. They found that 41% of those who favor gun rights would not vote for a candidate with whom they disagreed on gun policy, even if they agreed with the candidate on most other issues. Only 31% of gun control supporters see gun policy as a make or break voting issue. Furthermore, 12% of gun right advocates have donated money to an organization that takes position on gun policy. Only 3% of gun control supporters have done so. Thus, all in all, it can be said that the greatest reason why the NRA is so successful is because they effectively wield their politically active members to intimidate congressmen into supporting them, as was seen with the Manchin-Toomey bill in 2013 after Sandy Hook.